This is chapter 10. This is part 2. We had just looked at a bag of a 0.9% sodium chloride injection, and this would be example of the label on the bag. There is 1,000 milliliters in the bag, 0.9% injection, and it says in small print here, see if I can zoom in a little bit, each 10 milliliters contains sodium chloride, 900 milligrams in water for injection. It gives you all the information in there. Okay. Another example would be 20 milliequivalents of potassium chloride in 5% dextrose and 0.45% sodium chloride. Okay. Now look at this next one. This one is also 5% dextrose and 0.45% sodium chloride injection. This one that we just looked at looks very similar. We have the same dextrose and sodium chloride, but this one does have potassium chloride in it, which is a high alert drug. So you need to be careful that you don't mix up these two. This one is 1,000 milliliters. There's 1,000 milliliters in the bag. 5% dextrose and lactated ringers, and that is also called Ringer's lactate. Which you abbreviate RL. And it includes electrolytes, potassium chloride, calcium chloride. This is another example of a the label on a bag. Okay, so let's talk about gravity systems and pumps. The flow rate regulation. Rate of flow is regulated by an electronic device or by gravity. The IV tubing drop delivery is not standard. And what they will do is they will specify, the manufacturer will just to specify the drop factor, which drop factor is measured in drops per minute. So GTT per minute. And it's equivalent to the number of drops that equals 1 milliliter depending on the size of the tube. And these are also sometimes measured in micro drops per minute. Which is abbreviated MCGTT per minute. So an image of an IV line with gravity flow. You have the IV solution here. This part is the drip changer. This is a roller clamp, the tubing, and the infusion site. This is a close-up of the drip chamber, so you can see how quickly it's dripping through here. All right. Here's some samples of labeling for IV tubing. And you can see it tells you, let's see, this one, if you zoom in really close, it says 60 drops per 1 milliliter. So that would be the drop factor. This one has a drop factor, the other one has a drop factor of 10. If you look right in here, it's really hard to see. It's not a good picture. I'm sorry for that. Some gravity systems and pumps, these are common drip factors. You're often going to see 10 to 1, 15 to 1, 20 to 1, and then here you have 60 micro drops per milliliter. Okay. So the next is we have a picture on page. We have a picture of an infusion pump, which regulates how fast the drips go. And you can also have the one where the patient controls how much pain medicine they get. Okay, so let's do some math in the next video.